Friends, Cowboy Joe Buu here with the Joe Buu Report. And as always, I want to thank you guys for joining the Joe Buu Report. And if you haven't joined yet, click over here on the subscribe button, the picture of me and Sean Lee. That way you can get more of the Joe Buu Report. You know, I thought I'd been hitting a little too much of the sauce when I heard Heath Evens say he thinks the Dallas Cowboys will go 13-3. I mean, the Cowboy haters are turning to the Dallas Cowboys. Can you believe that stuff? Boy, I think I'm going to need another refill. Let's go to the tape and check that out.
He's earned the right to be our quarterback. He's guided our team to an 8-1 record.
And he goes deep for down. Touchdown.
Y'all think I want to be champions?
That Baltimore defense is no joke.
Did you hear that?
Baltimore Ravens going against the best rushing team in the NFL.
I believe in Joe Flacco.
He provides that spark.
The Ravens undefeated against the Cowboys.
Cowboys don't three, Ravens don't three.
All eyes are pointing towards Sunday.
All right, getting set for the Ravens and Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, guys, we know that the two rookies have guided the offense. That offensive line, of course, has played just a little bit of a part in it. But there's 7 straight games with over 400 yards of total offense. That is a franchise record. They're the only team in the league to rush for over 100 yards in every game this season. But this week, they got the #1 defense in the Baltimore Ravens coming into town. Heath, does Dean Pease have a plan to stop those streaks?
I think he does. The rushing department, I believe so. I do believe Dak is going to have to do something that we haven't seen yet to win a ball game. I believe the front four, as well as the linebackers, they will force the hand of this offense to show us something different than what they've showed us in the past. I think mano-a-mano, this O-line, they're as good as it gets. But I do believe in Dean Pease to get something done. And then, you had Ray Lewis come out and just basically challenge the somewhat manlyhood of your quarterback. So if I know anything about the Baltimore Ravens and what Ozzie Newsome has put together team-wise, is they fight for each other. You got Steve Smith there. You got a bunch of other hardcore veterans that kind of want to go out and prove Ray wrong. So we'll see how they get this done.
Maybe that was strategic.
I know Ray. I know Ray. You know Ray.
Yeah,
I think it probably was.
Yeah, Ozzie might have given him a little phone call. Hey, Ray, I need
Watch
you to
this.
By the way, Joe, this is happening this week. All right?
Yeah.
You know, I think that's the line, without question. I mean, that #1 defense of Baltimore going against the #1 running offense of the Dallas Cowboys. We've been watching it week after week. The thing that I think is going to need to happen is, and I'm really looking for Scott Linehan, the offensive coordinator at Dallas, to do this, is hopefully he'll implement some more zone read and maybe put another dimension to that running game, which they so will need against the Baltimore Raven defense. Because it won't just be, I don't think, just Elliott running the football. I think they're going to do some zone read. Again, maybe Dak will get some carries. If nothing else, loosen up the defense a little bit, because they got to do something against that Raven defense. This is not the same defense. As a matter of fact, Green Bay was the #1 when Baltimore went, or when Dallas went against them.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they went in, Dallas went in and tore up Green Bay pretty good. Sure this will be a different deal. Baltimore's bigger, stronger, tougher. I think they're going to give them more run for their money.
But do they have what it takes offensively to put enough points on the board here in this game, maybe with a further inspired Joe Flacco and company here?
Joe Flacco's ceiling is good enough. We just don't see that ceiling often enough. And then any team with Steve Smith, I believe, has enough to win every single week. There is something that the macho man Steve Smith brings to a team that I believe you can't quantify. Obviously, Carolina cut his career short. He had a lot more in the tank. I believe this team has enough to get it done for 1 week. Inconsistency has been their Achilles heel.
Interestingly enough, for the Cowboys, with a win over the Ravens, they would sweep the AFC North for the season, would make them a perfect 4-0.
Wow.
Let's see, though, Heath, how the rest of their schedule might shape up. Sitting here, it's 8-1 heading into Week 11.
Well, and honestly, it doesn't look all that daunting on the way out. Obviously, we just talked about this Ravens game right here, Dallas fans. And you know what, mainly, Tony, buddy, I couldn't be more proud of you. What you said to the nation the other day, humble, it was true leadership. It was everything that every young man ever needs to see in this business. Kudos to you for taking this, swallowing your pride, doing what's best for your football team. That being said, I do. I think this is a loss, and I think it's the second loss of the year. I think they go to 8-2. Another division game coming up, Coach. Rebuttal anytime. Yell and scream.
Dak's still the starter Week 12?
Dak is still, yes. Dak is still the starter for the Redskins game.
I'm going Dallas on that.
Okay, so let's just let it be for the record that Coach Nolan has a win here for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to go a W here inside the division.
That's a big one. That's a hot team. Yeah.
It is. I also just think that there's something about the physical presence of how Dallas plays that will match up extremely well there, and we've seen it in the past. This game, 10 weeks removed, I would have picked the Minnesota Vikings. But this is another W with the way they're playing right now.
10-2.
Division game in December down the stretch. When it's money time, Coach, I'm giving you the Giants game. What do we got? They're sitting at 10-2.
And that's at New York.
At New York.
I think they win again.
I agree. So let's give them a W here. Tampa Bay, NFC opponent. I'm going to give them a W. No disrespect to the Lions. I think this is a pretty easy one based on the defense of that team. Ooh. Week 17, Coach. On you. What do we got?
This is
at Philly.
Are you resting starters?
At Philly.
I think this is a game where Philly must win to get into the playoffs. As a wild card, I give it to Philly.
Ooh, now is it because Dallas is resting some of their starters, or is this one-on-ones and Philly just gets it done?
We're just picking wins and losses.
Hey,
So we give them an L, 13-3. Dallas, you'll be fans. You're happy with that, right? Brett, they're happy with that.
that's number 1 seed in the NFC, right?
Right. So 12-4 was 2014, correct?
So you're saying Tony Romo started and lost that Week 17 game because they were resting everybody?
Stop
right?
it.
What?
I did
mean,
not say that for the record.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. 13-3. Yeah, I think Cowboys fans are pretty happy looking at another NFC East champion.